so we have this book of the complete poems of Emily Dickinson. And while we think that, there's 1,700 and some of them, and we think that, they're all great, they're all so fabulous, we do pick and choose, right? And there are poems where, it won't be quite as fabulously productive to talk about as the others. But I think we can actually prove otherwise, that there's something here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask T to pick a number between one. Actually, I want to randomize this even further. I'm going to ask Max McKenna to write a number down between 1 and 716. Any number between 1 and 716. Then and you write it down, don't tell us. And T, I'm going to ask you to pick a number between 1 and 1,775, which is the number of poems that Dickinson wrote that are in here. All right? Then we're going to take the number that T gives us and subtract the pages of the number that Max is giving us, and we will land on a poem in this book. Okay? And then I'm going to take a photo of that poem. Oh, by the way, we're going to rule out poems that are like more than 4 stanzas because we don't have time to do a close reading of a poem like that. So that eliminates some poems, but whatever. Not too many. Okay, I'm going to take a picture of the poem. I'm going to email it to Zach, and that will be put out on the screen so everybody can see it. And then we're going to try to do a close reading of that poem. Okay? So, T, give us a number, please, between 1 and 1775.
315.
315. Now, the flaw with my game here is that if Max's number is more than 315, we have a problem. So tell us your number.
It was 502.
Okay, so 502. So somebody do the math.
You just add those two.
Let's add them.
Yeah.
Add them.
Let's add them. Okay, so it's who's laughing? Jessica's laughing. So it's 817. Poem 817. Okay. Okay, the pages stick together. Oh, perfect. Oh, my God. All right, I'm going to take a picture. Oh, you're going to take a picture of it.
Which one?
That one right there. Good job. Okay, I'm going to read it aloud, and then I'm going to ask Kate to start the close reading in any way she can. The problem is, Kate, you won't quite see the picture of it yet. You're going to have to listen to it. Okay, here it is. 817. It's about marriage, sort of. God. Oh, it's kind of sexy. Given in marriage unto thee, O thou celestial host, bride of the Father and the Son, bride of the Holy Ghost. It rhymes. Other, new stanza, other betrothal shall dissolve, wedlock of will decay. Only the keeper of this ring conquer mortality. Yikes. All right, I'm going to do that again, Kate, and then you can go wherever you want. And for those of you who are online and might be able to look at poem number 817, you probably already have it. So the first stanza is about Christianity and actually Catholicism, it seems, and the second seems to be about something else. Given in marriage unto thee, O thou celestial host, bride of the Father and the Son, bride of the Holy Ghost. Other betrothal shall dissolve, wedlock of will decay. Only the keeper of this ring conquer mortality. Kate, you want to get us started, say anything, and then we'll go to Erica.
Well, I could. Oh, I lost the poem.
Oh yeah, Zach, you got to keep it up.
I guess I could start with 2 questions, which is, who or what is the celestial host? And what is the nature of the wedlock of will? Because those 2 things seem to be opposed. One is being forsaken for the other.
That's a great start. Would you try to paraphrase Wedlock of Will? And then we'll go to Erica.
Um, a marriage of consent or
Mm-hmm.
agreement, something that was chosen
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to something that has been imposed or that has superseded the wedlock of will. I'm not looking at the poem anymore again,
Yeah.
so
And
I'm
that
just looking.
stanza talks about how the wedlock of will, the consent to join, gets dissolved or decayed, and it ends with an exception to that decay. So, Erica, do you want to take a stab at getting further into this? And also, you can add, like, how do you feel about this randomly chosen Dickinson poem?
I'm sort of stuck on the movement between the two stanzas and how we get to other betrothal and what the other betrothals that shall dissolve are.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of love this poem
What do you
because
love about it?
there's like a very, there's like the whole, I don't mean to be reductive, but there's, the whole piousness and religiosity in the first stanza. And then a shift happens, and I'm still kind of parsing through my thinking about what happens in that space before we even move to the second stanza.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that we go from sacred to profane, possibly?
Yeah, maybe. And it feels I don't know if the word profane is what I'm thinking about. It's almost like like, I'm not being very articulate, but it's almost, there's an image that comes forward for me as a reader where everything begins to fall away in that second stanza. And then, instead of the subject of the poem, who's given in marriage unto thee, what's left is the keeper of this ring. And again, this is like what's happening in my own imagination that I'm kind of figuring
Sure.
out.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting.
Well, if the keeper of this ring is the host of the first stanza, then that's the only thing.
host.
That's the only thing that keeps a relationship, a betrothal, from decaying. And Dickinson is as religious as she can be. Sometimes she's certainly on the side of believing that all connection decays. But I'm gonna. T, are you still on the line? T, are you there?
Yes,
Great. Are you able to see this poem?
yes, I can
Great.
see it.
Okay, I'm going to ask Erica one more question, then we'll turn to you, T, and you can say anything you like about it. Erica, one more question. My gamification of close reading partly comes from conversations I've had with you over the years at how important it is to just throw things at, that's the wrong word, throw things at students. Toss students into the sea of, I don't know how to do this, which close reading, if it gets randomized, if people are empowered by the randomness of, hey, what do you think? It gets very productive. So we're doing that right now, and I would like you to just say, because this is your professional life, say, what's good about doing this kind of crazy, pick a random poem out of 1775, as opposed to what I was taught when I was a graduate student, like, only pick the best poems, ignore 817 because we don't know what to do with it. And I think we need a new era of picking poems. Erica, your thoughts?
I mean, this is such a good example because, there's a way in which, I feel like every year my feeling of myself as either a Dickinsonian or a Whitmanian changes. And this practice of like looking at this poem cold and just finding my way into it through the conversations that we're having makes me see Dickinson newly. And I mean, it's just like, if you hadn't said what you had just said, Al, I I wouldn't now be thinking more carefully about the profane in the second stanza.
Mm-hmm.
So there's also a way in which I would read this one way by myself,
Mm-hmm.
and the help of the conversation is what makes the poem actually exciting to
Yeah,
me.
conversation is everything, which is why even if all your sound goes off, but you're still able to read the YouTube comment feed, then that would be sufficient as a convening of an interpretive community, even without our authoritative voices behind the microphones, right? Everything is going to come from that kind of interanimation. T, I bought you a little time. Would you like to say something about this poem?
Sure, though I'm not sure if I will make sense. But
That's okay.
I'm thinking about the word other. Like, what does it mean to be using that word there? So I'm thinking, are there two types of betrothal? Betrothal to the celestial or to the mortal, I guess. And then marriage is usually binds two people, and then there are two stanzas, and like, what does it mean to be up to conquer and to be conquered? So I guess those are the things that's running through my head right now.
Yeah, I think we all need to go home and live with this poem and try to understand what other, capitalize, new stanza, new line, other betrothal. All others, the betrothal of others, the betrothal maybe of others who don't believe what's going on in the first stanza. I mean, other is a big, big word.